So you better watch out going on social media. You might get raided by the terrorism squad. So there was an old bloke, a disability pensioner, sitting at home last Thursday afternoon, just minding his own business, when between 12 and 20 heavily armed police officers from the terror squad piled through the door, back and front doors, bailed him up against a wall, body searched him, turned the house upside down and started questioning him. To quote Shane, "I didn't understand any of their questions." He was a bit stunned. Then one of them let slip that there'd been an accusation made that I had made a bomb threat on Twitter. But this was no bomb threat. The tweet, this harmless tweet, we made a reference to an actual bomb threat in Botany in the south of Sydney. Now, who gets raided for a few harmless posts on social media, for goodness sake? Well, it is happening. Now, the case with McShane was, like a lot of us, he's incredibly distressed by what's going on in Gaza, which looks like turning into World War III because Israel is now bombing 3 countries, Lebanon, Syria, Gaza. They bombed the Iranian embassy, so that's like red rag to a bull. Come and let's have a war, drag America in. And of course, Australia will have to be dragged in as well because we do anything we're told as the 51st state of the American Federation. But this was all about this threat to McShane, or Shane is his real name. McShane, he calls himself on Twitter, is the Israel war lobby trying to muzzle its critics. Simple as that. He'd been going up against the Zionists, full terror squad treatment. Anyway, the supposed bomb threat for which he was raided was no bomb threat. However, he was referring in this tweet to the planting of a petrol bomb on a car of a bloke in Botany who had the temerity to fly a Palestinian flag at his own house. The matter was never referred to terror police, the actual terrorism incident. It was handled by a junior constable who then went on holidays. And then he got COVID. So it took 2 months, more than 8 weeks, for the police to act. And that was only after prompting by yours truly of the police minister and the police commissioner asking what the heck was going on. Is there a problem with the administration of justice in this country? Shane Chester, raided for tweeting. Jordan Shanks, his producer, Christo, raided by the terror police for putting the heat on New South Wales former Deputy Premier John Barilaro. The citizen journalist and corruption buster Adam Greenwood on the Southern Highlands, raided too by the counter-terrorism police and charged with criminal harassment. This has been dragging on for 4 years for the crime, or the alleged crime, of sending 8 emails to these big burly policemen. You can see it. Clearly, what we have here is a problem with the administration of justice. A glaring double standard. People persecuted and prosecuted for doing the right thing. David McBride, Julian Assange, albeit in the British justice system. The tax office whistleblower Richard Boyle. The double standard has always been with us when it comes to white-collar versus blue-collar misdemeanours and crimes. No bad deed goes punished at the big end of town, but if you're not part of the team, the big end of town team, if you haven't got the connections or the money, you are fair game. But of course, the problem goes to a broader societal decay in the trust in major institutions. They always say, justice must not merely be done, but justice must be seen to be done. I'm not seeing it. Are you seeing it? Elite police raids on a guy for tweeting? As Shane said, the police themselves were okay. They were fine, they were just doing their job. But it's the workers who are rarely the problem. It is leadership, it's KPIs, it's ambition, career ambition, it's making budget, it's doing stuff for the right people. And in these cases, the powerful people. A corollary of this is the decay in the bureaucracy in the executive branch of government. Unless agencies can act independently and with integrity and courage to pursue actual bomb threats, this decline in trust will deepen. It is already entrenched, and that is not good for democracy. Meanwhile, check out the piece by Binoy Kampmark just posted on our website an elegantly penned article, which is on the government's proposed misinformation and disinformation bill. The latest in Big Brother's slippery slope, which may result in governments deeming what is appropriate for their citizens to read. Yes, tweeters, Insta posters, TikTokers, fair game too. Of course, the actual mainstream media, which is so allied to corporates and governments, they will probably get a carve-out because they never deliver misinformation or disinformation. I mean, imagine that. 40 babies beheaded, mass rapes by Hamas, IDF does not blow up hospitals, no genocide going on here, literally the crime of the century, and the mainstream media has missed the story. So here we have the proposal to ping people who don't follow the government's narrative, who may be deemed to be critics of the state. They can face large financial penalties and jail time. That's the latest, the misinformation and disinformation bill. Then we've got the anti-doxing farce of a bill proposed. It's the same deal there. Governments wanting to control the narrative for their allies. It is a slippery slope. Anybody, by the way, who has not spoken out against the genocide, in my view, is a collaborator. This is, whether you're Jewish, Muslim or otherwise, an absolute disaster. It has undermined American prestige in the world. It is changing the world order. It is threatening World War III. And of course, it's totally eradicated all goodwill for Israel. The implications of this, while we're trying to get a war going with China, the China Hawks, the Wolverines, is that we are poised for global conflict. Thank you, Benjamin Netanyahu, you criminal. It is a shocker. Please like, share and comment below, and we're going to get a Patreon out to the Patreon subscribe, asking what we should be covering more of, really. I mean, should we do more of this terror stuff, or should we do more multinational tax avoidance? Should we expand into Wills and Kate and Harry and Meghan? Should we do more on inflation and economy, markets going up, markets going down? Should we do more corporate investigations? Should we spread our wings further afield in the endeavour to shine a light on injustice and unfairness? We'll put it to the subscribers when we go out with our March Patreon. Thank you very much.